Hello, book connoisseurs. Welcome to the Breaking Down Novels podcast with all four of your hosts today, Marley, Emily, Katie, and myself, Madeline. For episode 10 of our podcast, the book we will be discussing today is Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck.
The topics we will be discussing today are women's roles and if Lenny was faking it or not.
The role of women in this book is very different from the role of women today since the book is based off of the 1930s.
Yeah, I agree with that because the wife, Curly's wife, never got a name. They all just called her Curly's wife.
I think that was a very common thing back then because the wives were kind of property of husbands, and they just kind of were known as their wives, not their own names.
Yeah, also, it was said by Curly's wife that she wanted to have a better life and she could have been famous, but she got tied down to the farm and now she's her husband's property.
It was also said in the book how the husbands didn't want the women to be seen doing anything else, so they had to stay in the house and do, basically be a maid to the husbands and their children.
The women were not allowed to talk to other people. When she was talking with Lenny in the farm, or at the farm, she was like, I can't be seen talking to you. And she was really worried that someone would find out that she was talking to him.
The women were mostly just housewives. They would just take care of the children, cook and clean, and they didn't have their own lives. They were just living in their husband's shadows.
Yeah, she also said that she doesn't like being cooped up in the house.
Alright, so our second topic is whether or not Lenny was faking it the whole time. So throughout the book, we read some things that Lenny did, which were very bad. He killed a mouse, a dog, and then eventually ended up killing a human being. So do you guys think he was faking it the whole time?
I think he was faking it because, especially after when he killed Curly's wife, he didn't realize he was doing something bad until he realized she was dead, and then he was like, oh no, I did something bad, no one can find out about this.
Yeah, I think he might have been faking it a little bit because, even though it wasn't in the book, I watched the scene of him killing her and it was very brutal. And he just didn't care afterwards. He just worried about tending the rabbits.
I believe that in the beginning, Lenny kind of didn't really know what he was doing, but after getting the high off of killing people and things, I think he realized that he liked it and wanted to use it as an excuse that he didn't know what he was doing and that he's clueless. And yeah.
I totally agree because people can argue since he has a disability, he doesn't always know what is going on. But I feel since he already did it a couple times, he's gotten the feeling of how it felt, and I think he wanted more of that thrill. And honestly, maybe some of that attention also because he might not get that and only from George, so maybe that's what he was wanting.
I also think that if he truly didn't know what he was doing, he would have turned himself in immediately, but he didn't. He decided to hide, and in the end, George had to kill him because the farmhands would have killed him if not.
I feel like if he wasn't faking it, he also would have known after he killed the dog that oh, maybe I shouldn't be so aggressive with animals and people, and then Curly's wife could not have died.
I feel like if he didn't know what he was doing, he wouldn't have even gone and done that to Curly's wife, but he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. We'll see you next time. Bye!